I'll steal an intro from the other guy.
Thomann and University.
Well, hello there. As I'm not paid to say well, hello there, I think Vlad needs to owe me some money. Actually, I'm already thinking that's a bad reference to make, the word money.
No, if you're going to get hung up on things like that, we're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. So let me introduce the gentleman right next to me. It's a bass player I look up to. He did a little thing, changed a little thing in the 80s, even wrote a book about it. So do I say Nicky or do I say Mr. Six, or how do I call it? No, who I have here is Mr. Guy Pratt, who's been playing with a little band called Pink Floyd with a certain person named Dave Gilmore. David Gilmore. Doesn't he like a Dave?
Dave's old.
Okay.
You have to have known him from Cambridge to be able to call him Dave.
Okay, so Mr. Gilmore, and who?
Just David. Just David.
Just David. Okay.
You don't even have to say CBE or is it MBE? Yeah, it's MBE. So yeah, but you don't have to say that.
Well, if ever I come across him, I will tip my hat and do the proper salutations.
Yes, quite right. Tug your forelock.
Perfect. While we're on the topic of people you play with, you just said you were playing with Nick Mason.
Yes.
So let's start off there.
So yeah, I've just started a band with Nick Mason, which is brilliant. It's actually with Nick Mason and Gary Kemp from Spandau Ballet, who's actually pretty much my best friend. Actually, who I've written 2 musicals with over the years, and it's a brilliant idea. Then the other 2 people are Dom Beacon, who's a guy I worked with for years, who's a very great composer and keyboard player, but who actually is in charge of looking after all of Rick Wright's home recordings, and he set up Rick's home studio and everything, so he kind of knows Rick's head better than anyone, which is great. And then, but this idea, Lee Harris, an old friend of mine who was the guitarist and manager with the Blockheads, he enjoyed the Blockheads, but he had this idea that the one thing that David goes out and does thing, Roger goes out and does his thing, and there's 10 million Pink Floyd tribute bands, and you can go to any pub in any country on earth and hear someone playing Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here every night. What no one does at all is the 1967 to 1971 stuff, and we thought it would be great to get and build a band around Nick, and Nick was really up for it, and that's when we've been rehearsing for a couple of weeks, and we've got our first London shows coming up, and I've got to say it's the freshest, most exciting thing I've done for years. And it sounds fantastic and feels great. And a lot of these songs I've only ever played 3 of these songs before. A lot of them have never been played live before, and it's thrilling.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I'm going to do the corporate plug, and we already met, so I already talked about the worship part. But what I didn't tell you is, thanks to you, I started using Ashdown.
Oh, good lord!
So while it's here and while it's brand spanking,
yes,
there's even still a sticker on there. What kind of amp and head combination do you use?
Well, I have my own. Obviously, Ashdown built me my own special one. Which, and to be honest, I'm not really a great gearhead. I used to be, or I used to pretend to be. But because I've always played stuff designed by Mark Gooday, basically my whole professional life, and so the one I've got an ABM 900, but I think I've got a slightly posher special preamp that they made just for me, and it's but more importantly, it's a different colour, and has my signature on it, and so basically I play a 900 head with 8x10 cap. Yep. Although we're talking about making a special rig for this, for Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets, as it's called. We're looking at getting a proper 1960s rig with 2 3x10 cabinets, like the old PA, Wem PA rigs that they used to play through. So we'll have to see. Funny thing is actually is when they made the cabinet for me, they said, listen, the grill can be anything you want, can print anything you want on it, and I did think about having Peter O'Toole as Lawrence of Arabia. Which would look absolutely fantastic, but I was about to go on tour with Brian Ferry, and I thought he wouldn't like being upstaged by Lawrence of Arabia, so I just went for maroon.
We just touched upon movies, so it would have been a nice way to.
Yeah. Yes, well, I'm a big movie geek, as I'm finding out you are.
let's completely geek out and do all the rest of the video later. No, you actually done some soundtracks as well. If I recall correctly, off the head, Dick Tracy was probably the bigger one, or
Well, I just played bass on a couple of songs. Yeah, I've actually just done an album with Pat Leonard. I've just been in LA recording with him. He's had this brilliant idea of, because the things, because Pat wrote and produced all that great period of Madonna, the 80s stuff, Like a Prayer, and Hanky Panky and all that stuff, and the True Blue album, and since he's gone to social media, he's realised that there's this massive audience, this old Madonna audience, people who grew up with her who were kids in the 80s, and the thing is that she's not really. I'm not having a go at Madonna here, but it's this happens to a lot of artists when they get older. Is that she's not really talking to that audience anymore. I mean, she'll be in the studio with some 20-year-old DJ, trying to be hip and cool. But that doesn't really say anything to her. So she's got this old audience who feel a little abandoned, and all these people have sort of been getting in touch with Pat. So he had this idea of just reimagining all those old songs. So I went and recorded, and it's brilliant. But it's been done mainly with using all these new modular synths.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know if you know, I found there's this whole new world of modular synthesizers, and there's a lot of keyboard players I know who've basically just disappeared down the rabbit hole. I mean, I have no idea what they're doing, what they're talking about, but they seem happy.
I think it's a result of the classic bass player joke. How do you get a nice bass sound? Just ask the piano player to do it with his left hand.
The joke I know is how many bass players that change the light bulb. None. Keyboard player can do it with his left hand.
And the variation on that one that I know, just one, but the guitarist needs to show it first.
Oh, okay.
There's millions out there.
That's not still a musician.
I think it's just envy towards the backbone of the band.
Absolutely.
But yeah. You said social media. I follow you on social media.
Yes.
There's a very strong opinion about something happening in Britain, and I completely subscribe to it.
Thank you.
Because we're here, and let's name drop. We're here in Thomann, in Germany. So you came over from the UK. You didn't have to show any blue or orange passport.
I actually did. There was interesting. There was quite a big passport. They were properly scanning everyone's passports when we came in, and I wondered if that was a thing of Europe going. This is what you got coming.
We're
and
preparing.
No, it's true because yes, I've got to say, Brexit I'm never been so ashamed of my country and our pathetic government and the despicable people behind it. Because I speak as a European. I love we had a very ironic thing. Because it's a horrible racist, xenophobic thing, all based on lies and I had I spent my life travelling around Europe. I want my son to spend his life travelling around Europe. I'm a fucking European, and that's all there is to it. And I'm so proud to be European, And also the fact that you're with this group of countries who've all done nothing but fight each other for 1,500 years, who now sit around a table and moan at each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's but the irony is the day we had the votes, and we really thought, everyone thought we were going to be fine, but of course they aimed the whole thing at old people, and old people vote. Also, it was the same weekend as Glastonbury.
Yeah.
So that's 400,000 young people out immediately. It was the whole thing was horrible. But what was one of the big things that's, because it's obviously a big racist, xenophobic thing. One of the big things that was pushed was the amount of Polish people who've moved to England. But it's all temporary. They all go over. They work. They make some money, and they go back to Poland. I mean, it's fine. And I love all the new delis and everything we've got.
Absolutely.
I love you can finally get decent sauerkraut and smoked sausage, and. Because we haven't got any German delis. So, but what was ironic was that the day after the Brexit vote was the first show of David Gilmour's European tour, and we were in Rockshore in Poland. So there's the ultimate irony that the day we voted to leave the European Union, David and I had gone to Poland in search of work, and we were performing. It was a really beautiful show. We were in the town square, and we had a 70-piece orchestra, the Baltic Orchestra, which was being conducted by Zbigniew Preisner, right? Oscar-winning. I mean, it was brilliant. And one of the sort of centerpieces of the show was going to be A Great Day for Freedom.
Yeah.
The Pink Floyd song, which is about the Berlin Wall coming down, which and then it came to the day, and the result just came in that we decided to leave the European Union, and we were all just kind of shell-shocked. And we were about to go. In fact, I had an EU T-shirt made to wear for the encore, just to let everyone know how I felt. And when I looked at the set list, I noticed that A Great Day for Freedom wasn't on it. And we spent ages rehearsing it and everything and working out especially for this show. And so I said to David, we're not doing Great Day for Freedom? I said, no. I said, why not? I said, because it fucking isn't.
Well, valid point.
Yeah. But yes, I get too cross if I talk about it. But follow me on Twitter and you'll see what's going on pretty quickly.
I highly suggest that too, because besides that, there's also enough good banter and
I try to be funny.
stuff.
I try to be
It's
funny,
nicely
and,
balanced.
funny and cross.
Yeah.
Not much music. I don't really talk about me. I occasionally plug things, but
Well, speaking of plugging things, I also believe you're doing a second stand-up show now.
well, I'm on about my 6th variant of the stand-up show,
Oh.
but I'm actually writing another book.
Mm-hmm.
I've started writing another book because I realised I had so much stuff left over from the first one, and surprisingly, because the first book finished in 2006, and I kind of thought that nothing funny was going to happen to me anymore because I was grown up and a dad, and I sort of I still like I like a bit of a drink, but I don't take drugs anymore, and when I go to a hotel, I'm just impressed by the towels and the size of the breakfast buffet. Oh, there's a spa. So, nothing goes out the window.
And TVs are hooked onto the walls these days. So.
Exactly. Well, I never got that. No, that's something I never really understood. I mean, what could be more stupid than throwing a TV out the window?
Well, actually, while you're saying that, and I'll reference the book once here, the base flamethrower ID of base bomb ID.
When I had the firework that was meant to shoot. That was different. I was just burning the audience then. I don't see what's wrong with that.
But see, the point I'm going to is like, I see you have two options as a bass player. Either you make a great spectacle about smashing a gear, a bass or something. We have some here, but let's not do it around. Or, and that's probably because I'm still mostly a fan rather than someone on the stage, why not just take your instrument and look for either the cutest girl or the hungriest boy or whoever and go like, here, this is yours now.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing. The only reason I've only ever smashed 2 or 3 guitars in my life. But here's the thing: I don't smash my guitars. I get something specially for it. I wouldn't, because it's. And usually what I do is I do a quick change.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, when I did that at Earl's Court with Pink Floyd, it was actually Rob Green from Status.
Mm-hmm.
I said, have you got any Boz jobs lying around? Just something that looks a bit like my music. So they gave me this thing, but it was made of carbon graphite. It's just like. And it just wasn't going to break in a million years. So be very careful. Actually, the last time I tried it was on the last night of a Brian Ferry tour. And it was actually me and Leo Abrahams, the guitarist, both decided, I said, I'm going to smash a guitar. And he said, oh, can I? And first I was a bit like, it was my idea. And I went, all right, here's my mate, all right. So we went to Cash Converters, which is like a pawn shop. And I managed to I found a bass for something like $40 New Zealand. And then he found a guitar for $20. And the guy behind the counter was he'd never sold so many instruments once. And being in New Zealand, he went, oh, you guys starting a bend? And I said, actually, no, I think we might be finishing one. Which in fact we were, because it was after that. It was actually only about 5 minutes after I'd smashed my bass that I did find out that I wouldn't be joining Moxie Music on tour the next year. But that was even worse, because we were playing in Wellington at this very, very beautiful concert hall, like an opera house they have there, which has the most gorgeous wooden stage. It's fabulous, because New Zealand has all these amazing woods. It's this beautiful wooden stage, and I thought, I can't smash a guitar on that, it'd be sacrilege. This thing's beautiful. Only a boss can do that. But then I realised that Andy Newmark, our drummer, was on this riser. I thought, well, this is perfect. I can hide the bass under there until the last song, and also I've got this great sharp edge. It's perfect for smashing a bass on. But of course, I hadn't told anyone on the band. So Leo hid his guitar under one side, and I hid mine under the other. And it came to the end of the last song, and we were very respectful. We waited till Brian had left the stage, and I quickly whipped this thing out. Bang! And because we hadn't told anyone, poor old Andy sitting there playing the drums, he just went up in the air.
Nice.
So that was funny. But yes, no, I would never smash kind of an instrument of any worth or no. Yeah. Also, but then what you do with it, you give the smash bits to a kid in the audience, and that's kind of a cooler thing.
Then you can spread it around. Then it's not
you
just
spread it
one
around,
person,
and they don't realise they've got an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
Or bit of a piece of shit.
To tie it back to movies, have you ever by accident done a Kurt Russell in Hateful Eight?
Oh no! Now there's something about that story that's just a bit too fishy.
Yeah.
There's something. Well, it's either. Well, there's the idea, isn't it? Because I'm assuming your audience know the story, which is that it was an.
It was
an
very
18
old Martin.
It was an 1870 Martin.
Yeah, like 150,
Wasn't it?
130 years or
and
something.
they made but Martin had made an exact copy of it.
Hmm.
So why is the original on the set? Why is it there?
Because Quentin Tarantino is particular.
But they're not used. But it's like if you got the copy, do you know what I mean? This is what. There's something that doesn't ring true. I think we're being played a bit here.
It's good. I just recently rewatched the movie, and I honestly believe if you freeze frame the reaction of Jennifer Jason Leigh,
Yeah.
that's not acting. That is being shocked. So either they didn't tell her that he was going to then crash the fake guitar, or they didn't tell her that they swapped it, but she was she had honest fear
Like, yeah, I
on
know,
her face.
but but is it worth it for that look?
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of stuff about that film. I mean, another thing was it was shot using the original lenses they filmed Ben-Hur with.
Yeah.
Right, it all takes place in a room. The hell do you need Ben-Hur lenses for? It's in a room.
Well, for the chariot chase that was going on in the background, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Where famously a guy holds up his hand and you can see his Rolex.
And there's a Coke can somewhere as well. And I watched the entire movie and I never spotted it.
Ah, there's all those. Don't start me on those. The Sound of Music, the box of oranges.
So
From Jaffa.
know about that one?
When they're singing, they're in the market and they get to the orange stall and there's all these boxes of oranges from Jaffa in Israel, which didn't exist.
Okay, minor mistake. Speaking on that, minor mistakes. I don't know if it's a minor mistake.
What do you mean? It's perfect. No.
I was going there.
Visual.
Yeah, but as long as God isn't talking back to us, I assume they're still recording. Let's actually check. God, are you still there?
Yes.
So we're still good to go.
And there's me thinking that God has forsaken us.
Well,
Do you want to put the bottle behind you? Just to get it. Definitely out of the
Sorry,
picture.
there's a real gag to be had there. It's about time you put the bottle behind you. Can't, babe. Just one last. Spit it on the mop, babe.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I kept that one out of shot. We only have quality material here at TG.
They are so handsome though.
Yeah, but
They are. That's one of the things I was
I
like.
honestly started using ABM Evos because they're just so good.
They are just so good,
Yeah.
and it's just so, and it's what because what I've actually on the on this thing I'm doing with Nick.
The
it's,
Evo,
it's the first time I've been dialing in a lot of the valve.
yeah,
And it's great. It's filthy.
there's a whole technical based discussion that you can do, but I'm not a
can
pedal
do a
based
bit.
player. And just because with this amp you don't need pedals, because the 4 basic pedals you would use, it's a valve, it's a compressor, it's a DI, an equalizer, and it's a harmonizer, and they're all in there, and you don't need them to be spot on or great, but like if you just want a little of it, it's right there.
No,
and
that's
it's
very
good
true.
stuff.
That's right. I mean, this thing. It's. I only ever use this a little bit as a sub because it's not because I like I mean, it was one of my things was the octave pedal, and that's good. That's not quite enough to substitute. But yeah, I do use it as a sub thing sometimes. It's good for that.
Well, tomorrow Mr. Gooday will be here, and
Yes,
I'll
he will.
probably be sitting down with him as well. What's the most annoying question I can ask him? Besides, does it come in orange?
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably something to do with cars. Yeah. Ask him what's a good pair of headphones.
I've seen some out there with the VU meter, so maybe.
They're really, really good, by the way. They are really,
Yeah?
really good.
Well,
yeah.
then I'll do a
not-
product review of that
Yeah,
as well.
no, they are fantastic. I mean, even I'll admit there's a funny thing in the book because and that VU thing is a great, it's a great gag, But but in the booklet it says the idea of the VU is so you can monitor the level of what someone's listening to something at, and I said, come on, Mark. That's a bit love, isn't it? But it's a great thing, and it's
they stand out.
But that's not what you're paying. I mean, that's that's not expensive. Compared to a pair of Beats or something, I mean, they're fantastic.
Yeah. Then final question.
Actually, that would annoy him. Ask him something to do with Beats headphones.
Will do. Final question, and it's something I try to do when I do these talks, to spread out a little goodness in the world.
Yes.
Is there a charity or something you'd like to promote or want people to check
Oh,
out?
that's a really good thing to do. I tend to, I mean, I give all my old clothes and everything to cancer charities.
Mm-hmm.
Cancer, anything to do with cancer, because it's just, you know, because it's just annoying. It's still there because
Yeah.
you know, it just needs to be gone now. And homelessness, because I don't know about here, but in Britain we have. It's disgusting that we're sixth richest country in the world, and we have over 1 million people using food banks and
Mhm.
being home. So those are the things dear to my heart. Mind you, we're not going to be the sixth richest country in the world for very long, are we? So
Well, you're still welcome in Belgium. I have a spare room, so if ever you find yourself homeless or
oh, well,
in
thank
need
you.
of being a European
But
again,
I am going to be in Belgium in October.
perfect. I'll come look you up.
Yeah, I'm doing my comedy show. I've got 2 shows.
Okay, now we're getting really important. When
Yes.
and where exactly?
I don't know. I've got an email here from my agent. I think. It's Antwerp. Where are you?
I'm in Kortrijk, but Belgium is so small.
It is quite small,
It's
isn't it?
don't you British people always laugh with Belgium and
Yeah, we
Belgians?
do. We do. Yeah.
Well,
I
that
don't
would
know
be
why.
the
I don't. I love. I mean, I love Brussels. I love Brussels. I love mussels.
We have muscles from Brussels even.
Indeed. I've got my glasses. I can't see. But I don't know the name of it. It's 2 comedy
I'll
clubs.
look it up and I'll
They're
like,
easily found.
put it
Yes.
right here in
There
the
you
middle,
go,
like in
yeah.
post editing and
That'd
stuff.
be fantastic.
But yeah, probably it's going to be the Elisabethzaal or Stadschober.
Okay, they sound too big and important. There's probably not, it's this comedy. It's 2 comedy clubs. That's all I know.
I'll find out and
Yeah,
I'll be the
I'll
one.
let you know. Yeah.
And if you'd bring a bass, rather don't smash it, but like throw it in the audience.
No, that's yes. Thank you. You've shamed me up front.
Well, that's what I do. Normally I shame myself on my channel, so I'm glad to pass on the baton to someone else. But thank you very much for
Absolute
sitting down
pleasure.
with me and having this chat.
All right.
And enjoy the rest of Thomann and Thomann's Gearhead University class of 2008.
Yes, I like, yes. Like I said, I do like it. It's quite fun. I buy lots of my stuff. I bought my whole home studio off Thomann
Mhm.
stuff. So this place is ridiculous. It's really weird. It's
Uh,
like some kind of Bond villain HQ, isn't it?
Well, take it
We
to
just need guys in orange jumpsuits driving around in
well,
golf caddies.
go have a check at the warehouse where it's all automated, because they replaced the henchmen with the robots
Ah,
already.
there you
So
go.
yeah, because all the cheap labor.
But then who's supposed to fall the wrong way off the balcony when you shoot them?
Well, they
You
hire
notice they
us
always
idiots.
do that. You always
Yeah.
James Bond shoots them and they fall forward.
Well,
But,
probably they were.
disobeying
Oh, it's James
physics.
Bond.
Anyway,
Thank you very much for
Absolute
sitting down
pleasure.
and have a nice day and week and rest of your life.
thank you.
Perfect.
Thomann and Ashdown University.